Ed Montague, the plate umpire, adjusting his mask. Dale Ford at first, Joe West at second, Greg Kosk at third. Ken Kaiser has the right field line, Randy Marsh the left field line. First pitch of game 7, a called strike.
And with a breaking ball. So he starts off trying to keep them off balance with a breaking ball. It lets him know that he will use it more tonight.
And he's ahead of him 0-2. Vizquel is hitting .240 for the series. But he made the play of the series last night, robbing Charles Johnson with a startling diving play in the hole and throw from the outfield grass, choking off a rally and saving 2 runs. Bounces this one to Bonilla. 1 out.
Now after starting Vizquel off with a breaking ball, he goes to the hard stuff. Vizquel chased a high fastball, and then as Leiter did in the first outing of the series, he gets inside on Vizquel here. He jams him, and he hits that little roller up along third to Bobby Bonilla. In that outing against the Indians, his first outing, he made some very good pitches on Cleveland hitters. They got jammed and hit those little flares in the right field that eventually led to his downfall. But he can get tight on you very, very easily.
Pip Roberts could play tonight, but Mike Hargrove didn't want to face a situation where Roberts starts the game, feels ill again, has to be removed, and then he's used up 2 players. So Fernandez gets the start. And is this crowd on fire or what?
Well, they were here about 1 o'clock this afternoon, Bob. These parking lots were jammed and ready.
A ball and a strike to the switch hitter, who hit around 400 from the right side this year. 286 overall. In on his hands and fouled back 1-2.
There they are again. Leiter with 2 strikes on another Indians hitter, and this place jam-packed, standing.
$67,000 plus roaring, and a breaking ball in the dirt.
The fact that Fernandez is starting could be a plus for the Indians, simply because he's a little better second baseman because he's played there more than Bip Roberts. And from the right side, he is an excellent hitter, hitting .500 in the series.
Leiter's 2-2 pitch. Fastball fouled away.
Well, despite the fact that Leiter throws that fastball in the 90s, the Marlins outfield, as Joe just alluded to a moment ago, Fernandez from the right side has got some pop. They play him as a pull hitter. There's a gap in right center between Sheffield and White.
Inside, full count. Turned 32 on Thursday. A New Jersey kid. He's been with the Yankees, the Blue Jays, now the Marlins. His 3-2 pitch.
One thing they always worry about with Leiter is that he's hyper, and in the first couple of innings he has a tendency to overthrow.
And this ball is whacked into center field. Devon White has a beat on it. To help get Leiter in the mood for each of his starts here at home, they play Bruce Springsteen songs. Fellow New Jersey guy, for about an hour before the game.
And we mentioned that he has pitched very well here. 6-2, 2.28, but in the postseason this year he's 0-1.
Home or away, he's been roughed up in the postseason, including his Game 3 start in Cleveland. Ramirez hits it hard, but Renteria has it. Leiter works a perfect first.
pitcher all the way. He's got an excellent fastball, curve, and a change. He has a tendency to be high in the strike zone from time to time.
White bounces the first pitch up the middle. Vizquel doing what he does best.
Well, I'm telling you.
Can he pick it?
He can pick it.
Boy, I'm telling you, you don't see him any better than that guy. Here's the defense behind Wright. 22 postseason double plays. The play of this series, one of the great plays, was turned by that guy, Omar Vizquel. Man, what a shortstop. Jim Leland said today he might be the best I've seen.
Here's another good one. Renteria taking a ball. 10 months ago, Jarrett Wright was pitching for the Scottsdale Scorpions of the Arizona Fall League. At the beginning of this season, he was with the Akron Arrows. That's double-A ball. Bounced over first. Fair ball. Base hit for Renteria. Chased down by Ramirez. He sprints for a double. And he's in there.
Bob, one thing that works well for both hitters on these teams is that both of these pitchers will come after you. You have to only react to what they're doing. You do not have to think too much. And that's what they're doing here, just going after the fastball from Jarrett Wright. A nice throw here, but good hustle by Renteria. And they have a runner in scoring position with Gary Sheffield coming up.
That ball that Renteria hit looked like it was behind him. It was by him already. He hit it very late and hit it past Jim Thome down the right field line.
Now they can pitch around Sheffield if they'd like, but Dalton hitting .467 and crushing almost everything he swings at the past 3 or 4 games will be next. Ball 1. I don't care how uncommonly composed Jarrett Wright is for a 21-year-old. It's still remarkable. 3 years ago, he was pitching for Catella High School in Anaheim, California. Now Game 7 of the World Series. 2-0. Didn't even come to the big leagues until the last week of June.
And Bob, no matter how good you think he's going to be in the future, this is a pretty big stage for a young kid at this point in his career.
A dangerous pitch for him to Sheffield on 2-0. Three balls and no strikes.
There's that little two-seam fastball that Jarrett Wright throws. It comes into a right-hander diving down inside on Sheffield and missing.
And Sheffield takes strike 1. They're all pros, sure, but look at them. Look at Sheffield stepping out, deep breaths. You think he does that in the first inning of a game in mid-July, or even in Game 6 of the World Series? This is Game 7. There's nothing like it. Ball 4.
You might see Jarrett Wright start taking a couple of deep breaths here too, Bob. Yesterday he told me, he said, hey, I'm ready. If they want me, I'll take the ball. I'm ready. The worst part of this whole thing is before the game. Once I get into the bullpen and I get myself loose, get to the dugout, and I'm ready to go, heck, I'm locked in.
Mike Hargrove managing Game 7 on his 48th birthday. Now Dalton. Takes a strike.
And one thing about Dalton, and the reason he's hitting behind Sheffield, is he is very patient. He will show you that he's not going to go out of the strike zone. He makes you give him a pitch to hit every at bat.
Here's the 0-1. Fastball wrapped to second. Fernandez gets one. Vizquel cannot make a play to first because Sheffield went in hard.
Yeah, but they're calling interference.
Look at that. They call interference and rule it a double play. We'll look at it and have Joe Morgan explain it when we come back. We played a scoreless first.
There's always a combination of taking your knowledge and applying it. For example, I know who the shooter is. I know what he does, what he thinks, under stress, how he'll act, what's his favorite thing to do, what's his least favorite thing to do. And I got most of my rebounds before he took the shot.
Knowledge is the edge. At Invesco, it's the approach we use to make money for investors. Call your advisor or Invesco. You should know what Invesco knows.
There's only one way to fly on business, and that's first class, which is why TWA created First Up, a program that puts you in first class for a full coach fare. It's that simple. Buy coach, fly first. Before your next flight, call TWA and ask for First Up and see if there's a first class seat waiting for you. Buy coach, fly first. First Up from TWA. One mission, yours.
It's happening again.
Where's it centered?
I got it. It's centered on Elwood Drive.
Go, go, go! Back. All civilians back.
2.7.
Yeah.
2.9.
Oh, I'm feeling it. Go, 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 go! Yes! Score!
I just saved hundreds of dollars by switching to Geico. Yeah!
Geico Direct. A 15-minute call could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Next Sunday, ESPN Classic presents another action-packed real classic.
Holy cow!
It's Roogie's Bum, a cinematic thriller about a boy, his dog, and a dream.
You're gonna be a real Dodger.
See what evil fate awaits legendary Dodger Roy Campanella. Now with hair-raising special effects. It's real classics. It's Roogie's Bum. Next Sunday night at 9, only on ESPN Classic.
This is ESPN Classic.
In Game 7, you have to try to break up every double play you can. And Sheffield does that, but I'll show you why they called him out right here. You have to be able to touch the bag with some part of your body. Otherwise, they figure that you're going after the shortstop, and that's what he was doing. And Joe West called it right away. He saw that Sheffield could not touch the bag with any part of his body in his slide.
So we go to the second, and Justice takes a ball from Leiter. David is the only guy in either lineup who has played in a Game 7 in the World Series. A ball and a strike to him. That was in 1991. The extra inning classic, which Justice's Braves lost to the Twins. He was 1 for 3 with a walk that night against Jack Morris. Leiter ahead of him, 1-2.
And Leiter, as he did his first time out in the World Series, staying pretty much with fastballs. And again, this sellout crowd getting to their feet. He's only thrown a couple of curveballs in this game.
Justice lays off. It's 2-2.
That was a new pitch for him right there, Bob. That was kind of a changeup. He took a little off of his fastball.
Broken bat down to Dalton. The bat goes one way, Dalton goes the other with the ball, and Justice is retired. Tonight's overhead shots are from the Goodyear Blimp Stars and Stripes. It's based in Pompano Beach, Florida. At the controls is pilot Dan Thomas from Endeavor, Wisconsin.
Know it well. That blimp is the biggest thing in that town. Blow that thing up, and it's a big happening.
People come from miles around. Williams swinging a hot bat the past few games, hiking his World Series average over 400. Ball one from Leiter. No matter how you look at Leiter's postseason statistics, they are not pretty. This is his 5th appearance and 4th start. He has only one decision. It was a loss. His ERA is 6.35. He's allowed 12 runs and 26 hits plus 11 walks in 17 innings prior to this game. And opponents are hitting .377 against him in the postseason. So if he plans to turn it around, this would be the time.
And I think he has to turn it around with his breaking ball. He has to show these Indian hitters something other than just hard stuff, because they are such good hitters when they can lock in on one pitch.
Two and one.
Well, Jim Leland told us that no matter what Charles Johnson wants to call from time to time, Leiter pretty much has his own mind. I mean, if he feels something is working better, and obviously he feels the fastball is, he's going to stay with that pitch. There you see Johnson wanting something inside. That's a cut fastball that time, that little cutter that he'll throw. It's in the 90s, too, but it has a tendency to bust in on you very quick-like. Almost like a slider, but a little bit quicker.
The 2-2 pitch. Fastball tapped foul. Leiter has always had trouble with control. Last year, despite winning 16, pitching a no-hitter, and making the All-Star team, he led the National League in walks. If you can wait him out, it's possible that he'll walk you or get behind in the count, and you can sit on a fat pitch.
And one thing he has in his favor here, if he wants to throw the curveball, Matt Williams will chase some breaking balls in the dirt after he gets behind 2 strikes.
Fastball wrapped foul.
See, that should tell Leiter something right there. He's got 2 strikes on Matt Williams, and he still pulls his fastball foul. And that was a 95-mile-an-hour fastball. If he can pull it foul with 2 strikes, that means you have a chance to go a different direction. Something off speed with him. If he's out in front of the fastball, he's for sure going to be out in front of the breaking ball or the changeup.
Another 2-2 pitch. In the dirt, full count.
Well, at least he tried. That's what you want to do.
It's about the 3rd one he's thrown, Joe, and it's a good biter. I mean, this ball really drops down in the dirt, and Williams able to check his swing.
Look at the expressions on all the faces. It's warm tonight, but not all the sweat is from the heat. The payoff. He got him to swing at what could have been ball 4, his first strikeout.
Good slider down low, and that's what he needs to do. He just can't let these guys lock in. This is a slider that goes out of the strike zone, and you will get Matt Williams to chase him with 2 strikes. So smart pitching there by Leiter, and a good call there by Charles Johnson.
Leiter, who didn't have a single 1-2-3 inning in his Game 3 start, has retired the first 5 he's faced in Game 7. Alomar cuts and misses.
There's one thing that you do as a hitter sometimes, Bob, when you know a guy throws a lot of fastballs, and Leiter does, as does Jared Wright, you have a tendency as a hitter to sit on the first pitch, maybe a fastball. You're looking fastball, and you chase him out of the strike zone. There's a nasty breaking ball, and a totally different Leiter than we saw in his first appearance.
And this is what we said he had to do, throw some breaking balls, and he's doing it so far.
That one sails high. Leiter is from a baseball family. His older brother Kurt pitched in the Baltimore organization in the early 80s. Another older brother, Mark, is still pitching with the Philadelphia Phillies. Fastball just outside, 2-2.
Now it seems that Charles Johnson is trying to get Leiter to throw a couple of more breaking balls, but he still likes that fastball and tried to ride that one away from Alomar.
Full count. Jim Thome on deck. Foul ball down the left field line.
Changeup.
Yep.
Throw him a 3-2 changeup, but all these pitches that he's throwing early, the changeup, the slider, the curveball, that goes in the back of each one of these hitters' minds to know that they can't just sit on the fastball. You always follow a changeup with a good fastball.
Fastball well hit to center, but Devon White backpedals a bit, and that'll do it. 6 in a row retired by Leiter. To the bottom of the second. No score.
If you're ready to lose weight, muscle up, and get back into shape, I've got a free video you're going to love.
Introducing a winning fitness strategy.
You got to eat healthy, drink plenty of water, and most importantly, strength train with Bowflex.
Strength training adds muscle. Not only does your shape look better, you actually increase your metabolism, so you end up burning more calories.
Strength training these days isn't just for men. It's great for women, too. And Bowflex is designed for both. It's even been called the best home gym by Fitness Magazine.
Use as little as 5 pounds to more than 400 pounds of resistance. Follow our 6-week fast fat loss program or create your own from over 60 different health club quality exercises.
Bowflex is easy to own, and it fits in any room in your house. It comes with a 6-week guarantee on results, and you can finance it with no money down and payments as low as $33 per month. Hey, I'm 41, and I'm in the best shape of my life. And I can tell you, Bowflex really does work.
For a free video and brochure on the machine that can help you get into great shape at any age, call right now.
90 years ago, fans thrilled to the exploits of baseball's power hitters who belted as many as 9, 10, or even 12 homers a season. The game has changed, and so is the way we watch it, like MLB Extra Innings. Catch the free preview April 4th through the 10th on DirecTV Sports. Then tune to Channel 243 to order the 2000 MLB Extra Innings season for just $129. MLB Extra Innings. The pennant race begins here.
Introducing ESPN Extra, the brand new cable channel for sports fans who can't get enough. On ESPN Extra, you get more of the sports you love, like international soccer from around the world, including the UEFA Champions League. You'll see international auto racing, fitness, and outdoor programming. Plus, there's EXPN, which offers exciting extreme sports programming. It's all on pay-per-view around the clock, all week long, and only on cable. Watch ESPN Now or your program guide to see what's on. Then order exactly like you would for a pay-per-view movie. ESPN Extra, you can't do better than that.
What do I know about performance?
What do I know about control? What do I know about grip?
Great horsepower! Limited slip, rear differential. Full-time, all-wheel drive. But what do we know? We're just girls.
Subaru Forester. Sport utility tough, car easy.
This is ESPN Classic.
There is Livan Hernandez, and he had a very emotional meeting just a short time ago, about 30 minutes before the game, with his mother, Miriam Carreras. She has just arrived from Cuba. She got on a plane, got here at about 5:40 Miami time, was escorted up here by Tony Perez's wife. They came into Wayne Huizinga's private booth. Tears were streaming. They hugged for 10 to 15 minutes. I spoke to Livan. He said he couldn't get a word out for the first 20 minutes. Then they finally spoke for about 10 minutes. She's only going to stay at the ballpark here for about another 2 or 3 innings. That's because of security reasons. She's going to be under 24-hour security. The Cuban government will allow her to stay here for 90 days. But because of all the media attention and because Livan's mother is very, very nervous about all of this attention, she doesn't want to speak tonight. She just wants to enjoy the game, and truly she's overwhelmed. Bob?
Jim, thanks a lot for staying on top of that story. What a story it is. Strike one to Alou, and now he fouls one to the seats. 0-2.
They're going to try to throw a lot of breaking balls to Moises Alou because he's one of the best fastball hitters on this team. But Jared Wright's breaking ball is also pretty hard. It's not a slow breaking curveball, the ones that give Alou a lot of trouble.
In the air down the right field line, Ramirez racing over into foul ground, and it lands in the bullpen. A hustling effort, though, by Manny.
Now, Jared Wright has that excellent fastball. He's like Leiter in velocity in the 90s. But the thing that he has that he does a little bit better than Leiter, he's got a changeup, and he'll throw it when he's behind in the count from time to time. Or when you talk about guys like Alou locking in, maybe on a fastball, he'll throw that changeup down low and away.
Jarrett Wright, 8-3 for the regular season after being called up from the minors. 3-0 in the postseason. ball high to Alou. That includes his Game 4 victory in the World Series. The last rookie to start Game 7 of the World Series was the Cardinals' Joe McGrain in 1987. He pitched pretty well. The Cardinals ultimately lost the game to Frank Viola and the Twins. 2-2. The last rookie to win Game 7 of the World Series was, as you all know, Charles Babe Adams of the Pittsburgh Pirates in 1909. A high pop-up into shallow center field. Fernandez out to make the catch. Babe Adams won 3 games in that 1909 World Series, including the 7th one at Detroit, and he held Ty Cobb to 0 for 4. 6 others, including Jarrett Wright, have started a Game 7 as rookies since then. None has won since 1909. A strike to Bonilla, who is hitting just 167 with only 2 RBIs in the World Series. And he stranded a lot of runners of late in big situations. So Dalton is hitting cleanup, and Bonilla has been dropped from 4th to 6th.
Well, Bobby Bonilla has been chasing a lot of bad pitches. In that game yesterday, he went after pitches out of the strike zone in situations where he could really hurt you. There you see what he's done. He's left 18 runners on base, and for the most part, again, chasing bad pitches out of the strike zone, a pitcher's pitch.
A bouncing ball toward Fernandez. He has time and gets him.
A good example right there. That pitch out away from Bobby Bonilla, and he tried to pull it, hit that weak little ground ball to Fernandez.
One of the reasons that Bonilla has been successful throughout his career is he's able to take some pitches to left center field. He's hit a couple of balls in left field against the Atlanta Braves, but in this World Series, he's been trying to pull everything.
This has not exactly been a pitcher's series. In fact, through 6 games, there has never been a single game scoreless after 2 innings. Ball 1 to Johnson. 2 outs, nobody on. Bottom of the 2nd, no score. Last night was only a 4-1 game. Fairly well pitched. But entering the game, these clubs combined were threatening dubious records for most walks allowed and highest combined ERA in any World Series. A high chopper and foul at the plate.
Well, Charles Johnson has been swinging the bat very well the last 3 ball games. He had a couple of hits last night. He was robbed of a base hit by Omar Vizquel that turned the game around. He hit the ball in the hole. Vizquel with the diving stop saved 2 runs and changed the whole game.
Breaking ball got him. First strikeout for Wright. He and Leiter match zeros through 2.
Here comes that heartburn again. It happens time after time. You've changed your diet. You've tried to treat it, but the pain keeps coming back 2 or more days a week. That frequent, persistent heartburn may be due to acid reflux disease, potentially serious. It's Prilosec time. Time to see your doctor about America's most prescribed acid control medicine. Your results may vary, but for many people, 1 daily dose of Prilosec provides 24 hours of complete heartburn relief. Ask your doctor for more information about Prilosec and if it's right for you. The most common side effects are headache, diarrhea, and abdominal pain. 24 hours of complete heartburn relief is possible with the purple pill they call Prilosec.
I've never heard of mushroom jack fajitas.
Well, first we combine
grilled chicken, Monterey Jack cheese, smoky bacon, and mushrooms. New Chili's mushroom jack fajitas.
Okay, then.
Eat to the beat of a different drum.
It's taken 100 years and more than 15,000 players to assemble the most exclusive team in the history of sports. Major League Baseball's All-Century Team. Call 1-888-CENTURY to capture the game's greatest in a commemorative home video and book for just $44.95. Never before seen film lets you relive the best of baseball's last 100 years. Call today. This message has been furnished by Major League Baseball.
Today, the greatest World Series games ever are on ESPN Classic. Celebrate the new baseball season with 2 days of World Series classics. The heroes, the teams, and the plays that made World Series history.
It gets through Buckner, and the Mets win it!
It's 2 days of World Series classics. Baseball's back all day today, only on ESPN Classic.
This is ESPN Classic.
Jim Leland's wife, Katie, and son, Patrick, with front row seats for what could be the biggest night of 52-year-old Jim Leland's baseball life. When Jim and Katie were married 10 years ago, Jim's brother, Tom, who's a priest, performed the ceremony. Al Leiter has retired the first 6 he faced, and he starts Tomey with a strike in the 3rd.
And another slider.
Let's say breaking ball, Joe, and that's something Tomey didn't see against Leiter the first time he faced him.
Fastball is high. They want to check at 3rd, but Greg Koss says no way he went around. Off-speed pitch, tapped foul, 1-2.
Now, when Tomey hit the home run against Leiter, he hit a high fastball, a letter-high fastball, and he hit a line drive out in Jacobs Field. This for at bat for Tomey, it's breaking stuff, and now maybe a fastball outside. See if he goes with a fastball or maybe a cutter here.
Fastball way high. Joe mentioned on the pregame show that Leiter was 6-2 this year at home. His ERA barely over 2, while on the road he was 5-7 with an ERA upwards of 6. That's been his career-long pattern. No matter where he has pitched, he's been markedly better at home than on the road. Full count to Tomey, and when we asked Jim Leland about it, he had no theory at all. He said, I don't know, maybe his wife's a good cook. Look at that. You expect some difference, but not that great a disparity. And he walks Tomey, who becomes the first man to reach against him. Tomey at second, Grissom at first, Wright looking to bunt. Punts it hard and foul, and now the count goes to 2-2.
Well, you still have to bunt him here. You have to try to do anything you can to get that runner to 3rd base and try to take a lead in this ball game. So I'm sure Mike Hargrove will have him bunting again, even though some people think he may be able to swing the bat. This is a bunting situation.
He'll try it again, and he'll bunt it fair. It's a hard bunt. Dalton wanted to go to 3rd, but couldn't get the ball out of his glove, and now has to settle for the play at 1st with Counsell covering.
Well, he definitely had Jim Tomey at 3rd base. As you mentioned, you don't bunt the ball to the first baseman when you're trying to advance runners from 1st and 2nd. You have to bunt it to 3rd base because the first baseman is charged, and he's right in there, so he has plenty of time, but he just can't get it out. And then wisely, though, he did not attempt to make the throw. He took the one out at 1st base.
It was bunted so hard, and Tomey is a slow runner, that Dalton knows he had the play at 3rd if he could have fielded it cleanly.
I think that bunt attempt by Jarrett Wright, too, was more self-defense. He wasn't worrying about where he got it down. He just wanted to get it down.
Now Vizquel taking a ball. The Florida infield is back with runners at 2nd and 3rd and 1 out. Top of the 3rd, no score. Bluffing a bunt and taking ball 2. Vizquel, despite the fact that he's a little guy and you think of him as a contact hitter, he's a very good bunter, a hit-and-run man. He does strike out more than you might guess. Up in a situation where a strikeout would be immensely helpful to Leiter. In the air, back of short, not deep enough. Renteria makes the catch. The runners hold.
Well, a beautiful pitch that time by Leiter. Vizquel trying to hit the long fly ball. He got under it and hits that little pop-up in the short left field, grabbed by Renteria. Watch this. It's a fastball right down the middle. Vizquel upset himself, slams the bat down. Runners have to hold.
But remember, Tony Fernandez, very good hitter from the right side. Hit a line drive to center field in the first inning, so he's not out of this jam yet.
The pop-up works just as well as a strikeout. Now with 2 down, they need a hit from Fernandez. And he fouls it back for strike 1.
Well, we talked about the fact that he had been going with mixing his pitches well. Now that he's gotten in trouble, pretty much all fastballs. Let's see if he tries to change. Here he has a strike on Tony Fernandez. He's not front. You need to mix your pitches if you're going to keep these Indian hitters off balance.
Fastball in on him, a ball and a strike.
Fernandez is another one of those guys that'll chase a low inside breaking ball. Curveball down low and inside, or again that cutter that Leiter is featuring tonight.
And this is what has gotten him in trouble the entire postseason. Whenever he's gotten in trouble, he's basically gone with one speed, all hard. A cut fastball and a fastball.
The Indians with their first threat of the night here in the 3rd. And Fernandez with a liner into center for a base hit. Thome scores. Grissom is right behind him. It's 2-0 Cleveland. Tony Fernandez, who won the pennant for them with his 11th inning home run at Baltimore in Game 6 of the ALCS, delivers an early hit that could be the decisive hit in the World Series. Could be.
But as I said, when he gets in trouble, he goes right to the fastball, all hard stuff, and you just can't do this against good hitters. Tony Fernandez is sitting on something hard. He gets a fastball and he lines it into center field for a base hit. And you just can't do that. You have to continue to mix your pitches. And he did not do that.
Larry Rothschild talking with Leiter as you look at this pitch one more time. This is a fastball right there about belt high, and Fernandez jumps on it and lines it in the center. Leiter upset it himself. And the location of that pitch. Rothschild, we were told before the game tonight, has had conversations with Leiter as you look at the Marlins bullpen, busy here in the 3rd. But Rothschild said you've got to throw the curveball. You've got to really make these hitters think about the breaking ball instead of that fastball all the time where they're only sitting on one pitch, and especially when you're behind.
Now Ramirez, who grounded out in the 1st. 2-0 Cleveland in the 3rd.
And remember, Fernandez is only in there because Bip Roberts was sick.
Roberts and all of his teammates are feeling a bit better now. A ball to Ramirez. We saw lots of happy expressions. There's Bip, suffering from a virus which knocked him out of a couple of World Series games, including last night midway through. Of all the expressions in that dugout, perhaps the happiest belonged to Omar Vizquel. Fernandez picked him up. Vizquel couldn't bring a run home when a sacrifice fly might have done it. But then Fernandez knocked them both home with a base hit. 2-0 to Ramirez.
Since he walked Jim Thome to lead off this inning, every pitch has been a fastball or something hard, just a little cut fastball, but all fastballs.
And he falls behind Mountie 3-0. He walked Thome to open the inning. Grissom followed with a single to left. Wright laid down a 2-strike sacrifice. Then after Vizquel popped to short with the runners holding, Fernandez singled to center. Both runners scored. It's 2-0. And now a walk to put runners at first and second for David Justice.
Well, it's really hard to figure this out. Why Leiter, and I know Johnson is calling curveballs every once in a while, but he keeps shaking him off. And again, I mean, you're your own guy out there, but you still have to go along with what a scouting report says on certain hitters, that you've got to throw a curveball once in a while and get away from that one pitch syndrome. And he hasn't done it here tonight. I think he's only thrown 3 curveballs in this game.
First one to Justice is a strike. David hits left-handers very well.
Well, he hit well over 300 against both. 315 and 322. He's just a good hitter.
Tap foul, 0-2.
There's a curveball from Leiter, down low and away, and Justice hit it foul. But I mean, it's a very sharp curveball. It's a biting curveball, and has that left-handed batter. I mean, it'll make you give from time to time, or even a right-handed batter to get it, you know, down low and inside and chase it.
One and 2. Leiter trying to minimize the damage in the third.
Make no mistake about it, if he can get out of this inning, they're going to score some runs off the right. The Marlins will score some runs, so all we have to do is make sure he keeps it close.
Did he go after it? He did. Second strikeout for Leiter. They leave 2, but they score 2.
Gary Fisher was a champion bike racer, but back in his early days, he was suspended from bike racing because he refused to follow the rules. Now, it wasn't his equipment or his technique that got him in trouble. No, Gary Fisher was suspended from bike racing because his hair was too long.
When you're an original, you do it your own way. Original Coors.
Here's to following the rules.
What influence did the NBA legends of yesterday have on the stars of today? Find out on Vintage NBA. Thursday, Damon Stoudemire looks back at the leader of the original Bad Boys, Isaiah Thomas. Vintage NBA, Thursday at 8 on ESPN Classic.
This is ESPN Classic.
It wouldn't be a major sports event without the Goodyear blimp. In this case, the Stars and Stripes. Our thanks to Captain Thomas for the many spectacular shots provided for tonight's telecast from Pro Player Stadium. The fans settle back in after the 7th inning stretch, and Bobby Bonilla launches one to deep right. Bonilla sends one out of here. It's a 2-1 game.
I think he hit a high changeup. Take a look at this pitch that Bonilla hit against right. This looks like it's a high changeup. That's exactly what it is. I mean, that thing's right in the wheelhouse, waist high, and Bonilla hit it out.
Well, more importantly than just getting him within one run, that tells Jarrett Wright that he can be hurt. And until you prove to a pitcher that you can hurt him, his confidence will never waver.
Well, the Indians' bullpen is busy. Mark Wiley making sure they're ready down there. It's Nagy and Anderson. Anderson again.
And his 2-1 pitch to Johnson. Fouled back.
In talking a moment ago about Jared Wright and Mike Hargrove, he's pitched a great ball game here tonight. And in talking about not letting this kid lose the game, if indeed he does give up a run, which he did with the home run by Bonilla, to have somebody ready and get him in there.
A different left-hander up now. Ossenmacher rather than Anderson, along with Nagy. They come to their feet in anticipation of the 3-2 pitch from Wright to Johnson. Struck him out. Well, there's an indication of what Wright is made of.
You're right. Another fastball up and out of the strike zone, but you know, this kid never stops throwing. I mean, he turns this pitch loose. 3-2, he doesn't hold back. He doesn't try to just throw a strike. He throws his best stuff, and Johnson can't catch up with it.
Counsell is 0 for 2. A ball to him. Dennis Cook, who happens to be an exceptionally good hitting pitcher, is in the on-deck circle, but we'll see.
And if Wright doesn't take care of Counsell here, I think you can see Hargrove make the move. I mean, I think he has to make the move. Even though it's Cook next, I still think if he walks this guy, he's got to make a move.
Well, he wouldn't make the move until they sent up a pinch hitter anyway.
It's 3-0. Counsell will take at least one. And it's off the outside corner. Ball 4. Floyd has a bat. There he is. And we'll see what Hargrove does after Floyd is announced.
Well, Jim Leland knows if he brings in Paul Ossenmacher, or if he makes a change, he has Conine ready. And I think that's what they're going to do, because Nagy is sit down now. And there comes Hargrove.
And maybe that's why he sends up Floyd rather than Eisenreich, because he doesn't want to lose Eisenreich without having him swing the bat. He sends up a guy who he'd rather sacrifice.
Exactly.
Hargrove takes the ball from Wright. Wow, but man, oh man. Something to remember. He leaves leading 2-1.
Hi, I'm Tom Jordan. This month, Inside DirecTV takes you undercover on the set of television's most original new crime family drama, Cover Me. It's part of our special Inside Look at USA Network. Plus, we have previews, how-tos, and program package information you can't afford to miss. Inside DirecTV, your information destination on Channel 250.
Hello, I'm Daphne Brogdon.
And I'm Gary Valentine.
We're your hosts on an exciting new show for movie lovers, Movie Showcase on DirecTV.
Each week, we'll show you the hottest new movies and original series on premium movie services, HBO, Starz, and Showtime.
And check out the newest releases on Direct Ticket pay-per-view.
Plus, movie trivia and more. There's a new show starting every Monday on Channel 100 and 500.
So join us on Movie Showcase on DirecTV.
On April 21st, the UFC will crown a new middleweight champion.
Ortiz delivers some shots. Vanderlei Silva with the knockout.
Tito Ortiz Morales versus Vanderlei Silva for the UFC Middleweight Championship of the World. Plus, knockout artist Eugene Jackson returns in the most intense full-contact event in sports today. UFC 25, Friday, April 21st on Direct Ticket.
The next chap, one-on-one, one of the greatest clutch hitters in New York Yankee history, old reliable Tommy Henrich.
You were actually young reliable at the time.
The Yankees-Dodgers rivalry.
You played 3 World Series, beat them 3 times. You hate each other?
Jackie Robinson joining the majors.
It looked like he could steal home anytime he wanted to.
And the day Lou Gehrig said farewell.
When he said, he's the luckiest man in the world.
Henrich, Schaap, one-on-one, tomorrow at 6:30 only on ESPN Classic.
I overheard you at that cocktail party last week. The ZipGen stock. I bought a ton online.
Good. For they are the only firm able to meet the stringent demands of the Martians from Vector Nebula.
This is ESPN Classic.
Here's the way the pieces have been moved around the chessboard in the 7th inning of Game 7. Wright is removed for Assenmacher. Floyd had been announced as the pinch hitter. He's called back. The right-handed hitting Kurt Abbott, who batted .274 during the regular year with 6 home runs, will be sent up to face Assenmacher.
Bob, you said this will be something to remember. Well, Game 7 will always give you something to remember.
First one to Abbott. Is a ball.
Al, the Indians bullpen that was so brilliant against Baltimore in that series has been touched in the World Series. They've been hit. They've given up some big runs, including Assenmacher.
His 1-0 pitch is in there. Jarrett Wright lasted 6 1/3. Allowed only 2 hits, but one of them was the long home run leading off this inning on the first pitch by Bobby Bonilla. He struck out 7, he walked 5, allowed 1 run, and counsel at first is his responsibility. Bouncing ball foul.
Well, this is the time that Jim Leyland has a lot of decisions to make. And one is, does he put counsel in motion? Do you try to manufacture a run as a manager, or do you let the players play? He has that decision to make right now.
On 1-2, Abbott hits one in the air to right. Ramirez drifts back. He's got it lined up. Counsel tags, but just to draw a throw.
Manny Ramirez had a beat on that fly ball the minute it left the bat. Drifted back into right center and made an easy play. Taking a look at the lights, and they are different here. They are different than you normally see in a baseball field. And he made the error back in the 6th, but here an easy play. Here you see what we're talking about.
Well, in Cleveland, 14-11, 10-3, 8-7. Then we come back here for games 6 and 7, and pitching and defense take over. 4-1 last night. 2-1 in the 7th tonight in Game 7.
And for those of you who are wondering why he used Kurt Abbott instead of Conine, he's going to have another shot to use him later in the ballgame. He didn't want to use him up this early.
Jim Leyland, who came so close in the league championship series when he managed the Pirates, losing it 3 straight years. The losses to the Braves in '91 and '92 especially gut-wrenching. In '91, he led 3-2. Dropped games 6 and 7 at home in Pittsburgh. And then the next year was the tale of Francisco Cabrera. Breaking ball drops in for a strike. As he put it before this game, if you're not at least a little nervous, if you don't have butterflies, you're in the wrong business. Something wrong with you. 2-2. This is what you play for.
Yeah, this is what it all boils down to, Bob. At the start of spring training, every club, those who have got the chance to win, and despite what happens throughout the course of the season, this is it right here. Everything's right here. Every player, every coach, their families, everything else.
A full count. So now Counsell, who runs pretty well, will take off on the pitch. Justice very deep in left, might be able to get into the gap and cut a potential extra base hit off before it gets to the wall. Counsell leaves, and White grounds it foul.
Paul Assenmacher, who has such a great curveball, he threw 3 curveballs to start White off in this particular at bat. They're on a 3-2. Throws the fastball, and White hits it foul. Don't be surprised if he throws a breaking ball.
White's 0 for 3 tonight. And now he's 0 for 4. Assenmacher comes in, retires the 2 hitters he faces, and keeps it a 2-1 game.
Before your next flight, call TWA and ask for First Up, a program that puts business travelers in first class for a full coach fare. By coach, fly first on TWA. One mission, yours.
The Outback has finally come to town. Introducing the Subaru Outback Sedan. A completely new kind of car that combines the rugged traction and control of full-time all-wheel drive with a decidedly uptown look.
Icon of town.
Outback Sedan, yet another first from Subaru.
Major League Baseball presents the official 1999 World Series home video and Team Bean Collectible Bear. Relive the excitement of this year's Fall Classic, plus dramatic moments from each team's entire postseason. Reserve your copy now by calling 1-888-770-4MLB, and you'll also receive the official World Series Team Bean Bear. You'll get both collector's items for only $29.95. That's 1-888-770-4MLB. This message was furnished by Major League Baseball.
Do you want to know when the games begin? Tune to ESPN Now, available only on cable, for a complete guide to all sports on television. You get continuously updated schedule information so you know exactly what's on when. Plus, get live sports headlines from ESPN.com and the Go Network. If you want to know what the latest sports news is and where the games are, the place to be is ESPN Now. ESPN Now. It's where sports fans go first for sports. To get ESPN Now, call your cable company. This is ESPN Classic.
Now here's that last pitch on White. Breaking ball from Assenmacher, down low and inside. A 3-2 curveball. Yep, there's Jared Wright. You betcha. Yep. Leading 2-1 in the 8th.
Antonio Alfonseca, the 25-year-old from the Dominican Republic, is the new pitcher for the Florida Marlins. Big guy, 6'5", 235. Throws very hard. Tony Fernandez turns around, bats left-handed, takes a strike. There's a chance that when we look back on the 1997 season, the 2 biggest hits for the Cleveland Indians will have been delivered not by David Justice, not by Sandy Alomar, not by Marquise Grissom, but by Tony Fernandez. Check swing back to the mound. And Fernandez is out this time, 1-3. But as we mentioned earlier, it was his home run that won the pennant in Game 6 at Baltimore. And his line drive single to center in the 3rd inning tonight that produced 2 And so far, by the slimmest of margins, it's holding up. 2-1 in the 8th.
Right fielder, Manny Ramirez.
Ramirez 0 for 1 with a pair of walks, hitting only 174 in the series. But that's a little deceptive. He has 2 home runs, and last night he had a pair of sacrifice flies. Mike Jackson, who pitched 2 innings last night, has, as the cliche goes, all winter to rest. Give him the ball. Possibly to work the 8th. Hoping to set it up from Mesa in the 9th. Two and one.
Well, Fonseca is going to have to hold him here. That's his job. If he can come in and record, you know, maybe a 1, 2, 3 inning and let them get right back on offense, they'll have a chance. He cannot afford to give up any runs this late in the ball game.
Fastball fouled back. And you think about the way things go, things you could never expect to turn out this way. Al Fonseca wasn't even on the original postseason roster for either the division series or the NLCS against the Braves. It was only after Alex Fernandez was disabled with the rotator cuff injury that they had a 25th spot left for the World Series roster and gave it to Al Fonseca. Now Leland has so much confidence in him that he lets him work in the 8th inning of a 1-run game. Justice on deck. Fastball on the outside corner, and Ramirez sits down.
Well, Fonseca is another one of those guys, very hard thrower. He doesn't mess around very much. Shook off Johnson a couple of times. He wanted to throw heat. Here's that last fastball on Ramirez. In the 90s, on the outside corner, Eddie Montague pulls back on him.
Now Justice, who all of a sudden is struggling in this World Series. Grounded out and struck out twice tonight.
That tells you how bad David Justice is struggling right there. Normally you don't see Justice go after those kinds of pitches on the first offering anyway.
Big chopper to the right side. Al Fonseca will have to cover. Dalton pegs it over there, showing that catcher's arm at first base. And Al Fonseca does work a perfect
8. This is my final plea. I am a gecko, not to be confused with Geico, which could save you hundreds on car insurance. So stop calling me.
Geico. A 15-minute call could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Oh, I didn't want mail.
You don't have to sacrifice service to save money. Geico. A 15-minute call could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
You know all those stories you hear about how good it was and how much fun we had and how young we all used to be, about how much it all mattered and how much we all cared and how no one has ever done it higher or faster or harder or better. All those stories you hear, they're all true.
This is ESPN Classic.
So now Grissom is at first. Tomey is at second with 2 out. And they'll need a hit from Giles if they're to get this insurance run. High 1-1. He stands to be the winner in Game 7 of the World Series. But only if Mesa can protect it in the bottom of the ninth. In the air to left. Alou has the play. It's a one-run game as we go to the bottom of the ninth in Game 7 of the World Series. From the happiest birthday of his life. And if it happens, it won't just be for the millions of fans who are crazy about these Indians and who pack Jacobs Field every day and night during the baseball season. It'll be for all those folks who went to Municipal Stadium and were part of crowds of 3,500 and 4,000 through all the lean years, cheering for Chico Simone and Max Alvis, Daddy Wags Wagner and Vic Davalio, Jack Kralik and Sudden Sam McDowell. For all the people who have waited since 1948 for the Indians to be world champions. Meanwhile, Jim Leyland has waited through 34 seasons in professional baseball for this, 12 of them as a major league manager. He needed to win one over the last two nights. Beaten 4-1 in Game 6. Trailing 2-1 as his team comes up for its last licks in Game 7. Mesa saved it last night. Lou will be first. All three of those postseason homers for him are in this World Series.
Well, the thing to do is still be patient. Make sure you get a pitch to hit.
Mesa from the stretch. Down low.
And he's got an outstanding fastball. He starts Alou off with a curve.
Swing and a miss. A line drive over short. It falls softly in there for a leadoff hit. Just poked it, but it got the job done.
Well, over swinging his first few times up. Watch this one. Here's another curveball from Jose Mesa. Alou just went down, didn't overswing, took a nice easy swing at that ball and drops it in the left center for a base hit. And the tying run is on here in the ninth.
Witness the power of the tarot.
Well, he's older. Old enough to be your father?
He's 48, and I'm 25.
Is he your teacher?
You're incredible. My husband is driving me crazy.
I see the devil card. He wants to dominate you like he's your king.
Exactly.
He tells you how to dress, how to talk, where you can go.
Yes. Wow. You're describing the situation perfectly.
I see the Empress. Is someone pregnant?
Wow. I wasn't going to tell you that, but...
But it's not your current girlfriend, is it?
No, it's not. It's my ex-girlfriend. This is amazing.
The King of Cups card shows a very faithful man, one who loves you deeply, by the way.
Well, I found out he's had about 10 times the number of past lovers that I've had.
Look, his past history is just that, history. Now all he wants is you.
Caution, a tarot card reading may be very personal and intense. Be prepared for amazing revelations. Call for your free tarot reading now.
Call 1-800-771-4683.
I grew up on the plains of West Texas. When I was 10, I fell in love with a movie that told of the highest peaks on the highest mountains of the world. I've climbed 100 mountains since then, but none haunt me more than those I remember on the plains of West Texas.
Today, the greatest World Series games ever are on ESPN Classic. Celebrate the new baseball season with 2 days of World Series classics. The heroes, the teams, and the plays that made World Series history.
It gets through Buckner, and the Mets win it!
It's 2 days of World Series classics. Baseball's back all day today, only on ESPN Classic.
Man, I'm hungry. What, $1 for a sliver of raw fish?
It's sushi.
Sushi? Where I'm from, we call that stuff bait.
What else can you get for just $1?
Well, I can get a 20-minute phone call for only 99 cents.
Quit kidding around.
No, it's true. Dial 10-10-220. It's just 99 cents for all calls up to 20 minutes.
And just 7 cents a minute after that.
And get this, there's no monthly fee.
10-10-220 really is a great deal.
We know. Hey, you forgot to cook this.
Dial 10-10-220.
This is ESPN Classic.
Charles Johnson 0 for 3. Takes a ball. I don't care how much the game changes. When it gets to its essence, there's a connection through all the years. And now Mesa and each of these hitters stand where Alexander and Lazzari stood, where Terry and Mazeroski stood, where Terry and Willie McCovey stood 2 days later, 2 years later. The 1-0 pitch is a strike.
Well, this is what it's all about, Bob. You're right. I mean, guys like Mesa, they talk about big money, big-time relievers. This is what it boils down to right here, on the line.
One and 2 to Johnson. Greg Counsell is on deck. A line drive to right that drops for a hit. Alou is on his way to third. Ramirez has no play. Runners at the corners with 1 out.
Seen Jarrett Wright come of age tonight. We've also seen Charles Johnson in this series. Here's another young player with no fear. 2 outs, 2 strikes in the ninth, I should say. And he singles to right field. So Moises Alou knows he has to get to third base. He doesn't hesitate at all. Ramirez should have thrown the ball to second base. He throws toward third, but Alou is safely in at third, and now they need a fly ball.
Greg Zahn, their backup catcher, who runs better than Johnson, replaces him at first base. Nagy, who might have started this game 7. Instead, it was the rookie Jarrett Wright. Gets up again in the bullpen. And if you told Craig Counsell, the rookie out of Notre Dame, that his season would come down to this, he would have had to have believed you were joking.
some patience. Get a pitch to hit.
Infield playing halfway again. Fernandez up at second. Vizquel at shortstop playing shallow.
Mesa's 1-0 pitch.
Well, one thing about the Indians infield, they're not playing shallow enough to come to the plate. They're playing for a double play. You have to come in 2 more steps in order to come to the plate. They can't come to the plate from where they're positioned.
The 1-1 pitch. A deep drive to right. Ramirez on the run. Makes the catch. Tagging is Alou. Game 7 of the World Series is tied.
In tennis, the advantage of the two-handed backhand is obviously power because you're using both hands. But it also is deceiving because in a split second you can change the direction of the ball that you hit. Your opponent never knows if you're going to rifle it down the line or rip it cross court, and I like that.
Knowledge is the edge. At Invesco, it's the approach we use to make money for investors. Call your advisor or Invesco. You should know what Invesco knows.
Football Classics, Wednesdays at 9, only on ESPN Classic. Are you old school?
This is ESPN Classic.
Greg Zaun ran for Charles Johnson. This could become a factor. Johnson, along with Pudge Rodriguez of the Rangers, one of the best throwing catchers in the game, maybe the best. A guy like Vizquel will run if he gets on. How good a thrower is Zaun?
Zaun's been around for a while, Bob. He's a veteran catcher. He's nowhere near what Johnson is. He's adequate. Again, it's a problem with a pitcher holding a runner. You give him a chance, he's going to throw you out.
The 1-1 pitch. A ball and 2 strikes.
And this is when Ned is at his best, when he uses more than just the fastball. Good breaking ball there for strike 2.
Fouled off. And I don't care how much of a professional you are. Everybody on this field has to be thinking about the plays they make hundreds of times a year. But in extra innings in Game 7 of the World Series, are any of those plays ever routine?
No, I don't think so, but you have to concentrate. This is where the players who concentrate the best come to the top.
Vizquel is down on strikes.
Big out there, because if he could have gotten on base, he could have caused some problems for the Marlins.
This pitch a little bit inside, off the inside corner against Vizquel. It looked like Ned may have taken a little something off a fastball and gets the big strikeout. Leadoff guy is gone.
For a while, Fernandez thought he might have had the hit that won the World Series. His 2-run single in the 3rd stood up until the 9th. And what about the umpires? In a time where their work comes under increased scrutiny. You don't want to be the guy to miss one. 0-2.
Eddie Montague's done a super job behind the plate tonight. Nobody moaning and groaning. Maybe once or twice a player looked back at him, but other than that, he's called a heck of a game.
In the bottom of the 10th, the Marlins will have the top of the order. White, Renteria, Sheffield. Might have overthrown that one.
Well, Zahn wanted a high fastball. He wanted a fastball around the letters on Fernandez. Nen really reaching back. And Zahn up into the air to pull that one down.
Two and two. And it holds there.
Only Fernandez a little upset at himself that he chased that high fastball. Going up in the high 90s. You can't get up on top of that thing. Fouled off the best you can do. Fernandez upset.
And he hits it through the hole the opposite way for a one-out hit.
How empty it seems with only my dreams.
Introducing the 3.2 CL from Acura.
It's taken 100 years and more than 15,000 players to assemble the most exclusive team in the history of sports. Major League Baseball's All-Century Team. Call 1-888-CENTURY to capture the game's greatest in a commemorative home video and book for just $44.95. Never before seen film lets you relive the best of baseball's last 100 years. Call today. This message has been furnished by Major League Baseball.
Next Sunday, ESPN Classic presents another action-packed real classic.
Holy cow!
It's Roogie's Bum, a cinematic thriller about a boy, his dog, and a dream.
You're gonna be a real Dodger.
See what evil fate awaits legendary Dodger Roy Campanella. Now with hair-raising special effects. It's real classics. It's Roogie's Bum. Next Sunday night at 9, only on ESPN Classic.
This is ESPN Classic.
The one-time Gold Glove shortstop for the Blue Jays. On the Yankee roster last year, but missed the whole season with an elbow problem. Finds new life in Cleveland, and what a factor he's been in the postseason. Now Ramirez. 0 for 2 with a pair of walks tonight. Top of the 10th. Cleveland 2, Florida 2, Game 7. And Ramirez fouls it off. Tony Saunders, Game 4 starter. Didn't do very well at all on that occasion. Up in the bullpen. Nen's 0-1 pitch. Fouled off right side. And it's 0-2. The 0-2 pitch. Struck him out. Second strikeout of the inning for Nen, with the Fernandez single sandwiched in between. Justice is 0 for 4. 2 years ago, he won the World Series for Atlanta with a home run, but that was in Game 6. Ball strike.
Well, Nen is doing a wise thing. He's making sure that he checks Tony Fernandez before every pitch. Most relievers do not hold runners very well. I should say most closers.
And you think back to the insurance run the Indians didn't get in the top of the ninth. Pitch. Big cut and a miss. 0-2. When they had runners at first and third with one out, and Grissom bounced to Renteria, who elected to come to the plate to get Alomar. That kept it a 2-1 game, and Council's sacrifice fly on the bottom half tied it.
That signal you saw from Jim Leland is telling the Bill live for the delayed steal.
The 0-2 pitch struck him out. Nen comes in and strikes out the side. And we're back after these messages from your local station.
Things been a little quiet lately? How about some action? You can count on it this month with Direct Ticket's Thrill-A-Minute Movie Madness. Ready, go.
You have no idea who you're dealing with. Tick-tock, tick-tock.
Close your eyes.
I'm with you every step of the way.
Ever feel the prickly things on the back of your neck?
Where's my son?
It's to thrill-a-minute movie madness.
Hey, quiet. I think something's gonna go down any second.
You can count on it this month on Direct Ticket Pay-Per-View.
Mystery Men. Mr. Furious.
I'm unpredictable. I'm a loose cannon.
The Shoveler.
God gave me a gift. I shovel well.
The Bowler.
Let's do some carnage.
The Spleen.
What's his power?
Excuse me.
Invisible Boy.
I'm invisible. Can you see me?
Yes.
Wow.
Maybe you should put some shorts on or something if you want to keep fighting evil today.
Mystery Men.
Playing this month on Direct Ticket, only on Direct TV.
You want to see the greatest uncut fights of all time? You've got to watch ESPN Classic. Now experience boxing's most unique show, an exclusive look inside the ring with the champ, Sugar Ray Leonard. Sugar Ray's Hit Parade. He'll take you through historic battles and give you the inside story behind every hook, jab, and knockout from fights that are totally
uncut.
Sugar Ray's Hit Parade. Tuesday at 9, only on ESPN Classic.
So close to the action, you got to duck.
Are you old school?
This is ESPN Classic.
Since his first inning double, Renteria has walked, flied out, and tapped to the mound. Ball one.
It's important for Renteria to try to get on base any kind of way, because otherwise if Sheffield hits with 2 outs, the pitcher's on deck and they will not have to give in to him.
Hit hard and through the left side. The 2-2. Again blocked by Alomar. And the count is full. Now with 1 out. Do you send Renteria?
I run him.
I agree with you.
I run him. And again, a pat on the back to Alomar. Unless you've been back there and you get eaten up a few times by pitches like that. And Jose Mesa is not the easiest kind of a guy to catch. He really isn't. Those pitches in the dirt eat you up. That time he got out in front and knocked that one down.
The reason I run him, because if I don't score here, I don't want Nin out of the ball game. Try to give myself a chance to score right here.
He goes. And Sheffield grounds it to the left side. It's a tough play, and Vizquel will eat it. Sheffield is aboard with an infield hit.
There's the reason he's running. Maybe, just maybe, if he's not running, Vizquel may have a play at second, but that was the only play he had as Gary Sheffield hits this ball to the hole. There it is again. Renteria moves. And the pitch hit by Sheffield to the hole. Now watch Vizquel. His only chance, if Renteria is not running, would have been to go to second. Sheffield hits this ball to the hole. So Vizquel takes a look, nobody there. And they've got 2 on now with only 1 out. Good move by Leland to send Renteria.
A little stress? Bet us online investors aren't helping your blood pressure.
Online? I'm on Wall Street, a professional.
My online broker lets me see stock quotes the same way they see them at the exchange.
You do not see them continuously, not as the market's moving.
Actually, I do. Say ah.
Ah.
That's why Daytech calls it Streamer.
Very well.
Daytech Online. The rules are changing.
Major League Baseball presents the official 1999 World Series home video and Team Bean Collectible Bear. Relive the excitement of this year's Fall Classic, plus dramatic moments from each team's entire postseason. Reserve your copy now by calling 1-888-770-4MLB, and you'll also receive the official World Series Team Bean Bear. You'll get both collector's items for only $29.95. That's 1-888-770-4MLB. This message was furnished by Major League Baseball.
I'm Gil Sayers, and you're watching ESPN Classic, and I love ESPN Classic.
This is ESPN Classic.
Hargrove comes out, takes the ball from Mesa. You knew in this situation he couldn't possibly go to Hershiser with Alou, the scheduled hitter, because Alou has homered twice in this series off Oral, so he's going to go to Charles Nagy. We asked Hargrove in the clubhouse before Game 7 what he told Nagy concerning his decision to start Jarrett Wright in Game 7. He said, first of all, Charlie is a great guy. I explained it to him. I said, it doesn't mean I've lost confidence in you. I just think that Jarrett Wright gives us a better chance to win this game on this night, but be ready. We could go to you. He described Nagy as disappointed but understanding.
Well, and in yesterday's game, Bob, he was up 3 or 4 times in the Indians bullpen along with Brian Anderson. And I think along with that, it was part of the deal that he wouldn't be ready to pitch tonight as far as starting goes. But then Hargrove surprised everybody by saying, look, I made this decision 2 days ago. The day before yesterday, I made the decision to start Jarrett Wright no matter what. But here's Nagy in the ballgame.
Joe, what do you think about this move, going to Nagy to face Alou?
Well, what he wants to do is be able to throw some off-speed pitches. Everything Mesa throws is hard. So he wants to try to throw some off-speed pitches to Alou, who is a very good fastball hitter. And Nagy offers him that best opportunity. He has a good curveball, and he'll throw a change and the good sinker, and that's what he wants in this situation to match up against Moises Alou.
I think the one thing we have to remember, too, about Charles Nagy is what Hargrove told us about him, and in each and every visit to the mound in Nagy's starts, the fact that he likes to nibble, or he nibbles too much that he really doesn't challenge hitters. And I don't mean by trying to throw a fastball by somebody. I'm talking about that curveball. He's got a very good curve, change, and a fastball, and he'll change on his curve every once in a while. But they would like to see him become a little more aggressive sometimes instead of working from behind in the count.
Alou with the one hit tonight, but it was a leadoff single in the 9th. He's hit a lot of balls harder in his career, but he dropped it into shallow center and eventually came home on the sacrifice fly from Counsell that tied the game. Prior to tonight, Charles Nagy had made 211 big league appearances, one of them in relief. This is the second time in his life, at least at the major league level, that he's pitched out of the bullpen. Renteria at second, Sheffield at first, Nagy to Alou. Ball 1. Fly ball into shallow right. Ramirez coming in. Look out now. Closing in on Fernandez, and he makes the catch. Nagy comes in, retires Alou. What do you say we play the 11th? Here's his 2-0 pitch to Williams, and that misses. 3-0. Powell was 7-2 this year. Leland seldom used him to close a game. He had only 2 saves. He's 25 years old, out of Collinsville, Tennessee. And maybe that's appropriate, because by the time this is over, they may be calling for volunteers. Dangerous pitch for him on 3-1 to Williams. Rips it foul.
And Williams a little upset at himself. He had a good pitch to hit that time and get out in front of it.
.32 homers during the regular season. 1 in this World Series. The 3-2 pitch. Walked him.
Well, now Mike Hargrove has to make some decisions. Do you bunt Alomar to get the winning run, or the go-ahead run in the scoring position, or do you let him hit away?
Or even let Williams move, Joe, on a hit and run. Talked about that before the game tonight with guys like Williams. So there aren't too many people that he'll do it with, running and moving runners. But Alomar, who hits the ball behind runners and hits to right field very well.
He's a good bunter for a catcher. Had 6 sacrifices this year. In the bottom of the 11th, it'll be Bonilla, the new catcher Zahn, and Counsell. Sandy squares, bunts in front of the plate. Powell is on it, pegs it to second, and they get the force. Tommy bounces it foul. When you look at baseball men like Mike Hargrove, fine player in his day, now several years as the Indians manager. Jim Leland, this is 34th season in professional baseball. Often they're able to truthfully say, there's nothing I haven't seen, no situation I haven't faced. Well, what about this? This is uncharted territory for everybody. Only one Game 7 in World Series history has gone longer than this. That's strike 2. In 1924, Walter Johnson's Washington Senators beat the New York Giants 4-3 in 12 innings in Game 7 of the World Series. Johnson was the winning pitcher. That's the only Game 7 that's gone longer than this one. The 0-2 pitch hit to Counsell. There's one. Renteria on the ice and right to complete the double play.
Nagy's pitches will not fool Bonilla unless he goes out of the strike zone. So he doesn't match up quite as well here as he did with Alou.
To the bottom of the 11th, and Bobby Bowe cuts and misses.
And right out of the strike zone right away.
And you talked about Bonilla earlier, Joe, the fact that he chases pitches every once in a while, over anxious. That time down low and inside, a slider from Charles Nagy, and he chased it.
Called strike 2. Each team with 2 runs on 6 hits. The 0-2 pitch hit hard through the middle for a leadoff hit.
Nagy just does not match up well against Bonilla. Bonilla will always hit him well if he's patient.
Let's see what they do with 2 strikes. He's going to try to bunt again. He lines it back to the mound. Nagy's got it. Fernandez sneaks in behind. But Bonilla is able to get back. He's without a hit tonight, but he could emerge from this game as one of its heroes. His sacrifice fly with 1 out in the bottom of the 9th tied this game at 2. Nagy gets ahead of him 0-2. Eisenreich is on deck. Still 0-2. It's no longer his birthday. It's about a minute past midnight. Another 0-2 pitch.
Well, the one thing you get from Charles Nagy is a lot of off-speed stuff, a lot of change of speeds. You'll change off the fastball, you'll throw 2 or 3 different kinds of curves, and then a straight change of pace.
Well, that can work against him if Counsell can put the ball in play, because he has a big hole on the right side. And if he pulls it over there, Bonilla will have a chance to go to third base.
1-2. And Counsell punches it to the right side. Fernandez has it go through him. Bonilla will try for third. Ramirez up with it, but there's no play on him.
What do I know about that?
Well, the outfielders will have to come in shallow, because if a long fly ball is hit, the ball game is over anyway. They come in to try to take any line drive base hit away from the hitter.
Nagy works to White. On the first pitch to Fernandez. He's got to come home, and it is in time to Alomar. So now it's Counsell who carries the run that could win the World Series as he leads away from third. Renteria bats with 2 out, and a breaking ball is in there.
5 times this year in extra innings, Edgar Renteria drove in the winning run in the bottom of the inning for the Marlins. All after the 9th inning.
The 0-1 pitch. A liner off Nagy's glove into center field. The Florida Marlins have won the World Series.
this type of situation.
And it seems to be true of every great and memorable game. There's always some misplay or quirk or adversity mixed in with the brilliance. Somebody, fairly or not, tabbed as the GOAT, even as the heroes celebrate.
Well, for me, I prefer to give all the accolades to Edgar Renteria for doing the job here with 2 outs. in the bottom of the 11th inning.
Well, it all goes back to the bullpen work of Cleveland. Jose Mesa coming on, couldn't hold the lead. They tied it in the ninth.